Hey, and welcome back. This is the third video with Ted Cunningham. And what's cool about this one is, in your marriage, have you ever thought, I will be happy when the kids get older, maybe when I have retirement, maybe when I get the position or that other job is when me and my spouse can be happy.
And enjoy life.
Right. So let's listen to this video and see what Ted says.
Yeah, we kind of see us still climbing the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and we truly say it gets better and better and better and better and better. So we can look at every season or stage and see highlights. We really have been living with this marital satisfaction, enjoying life together.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible for any couple in any season or stage of life, so long as they focus on the factors and skills that lead to high levels of marital satisfaction. And so I would say early on, when we're not even close to the summit, starting off in marriage, children, and all of that, I mean, it's challenging. We were falling for that destination addiction idea that you can't enjoy life with small children.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something you got to grind through and get to a better place. And I wish we would have known earlier that no, you can enjoy life in every season and stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say the last half of our marriage, the last 10 or 12 years, has been the best as we've learned that and processed that. And as we're entering into empty nest season, I already feel like we're in it, even though we have a junior in high school, daughter off at college. We're just at that place. He doesn't need us anymore.
Yeah.
I've joked here at Windshape, only food, clothing,
right.
Money, housing. But other than that, he does. But it is, once he got his license, once our daughter went to college, it's like, Amy and I are like, all right, we're going to have to figure out the next,
Mm-hmm.
what it means for us, because, we got big plans, dreams for the future. But the goal for us is whatever season or stage we're in, whatever ministry looks like for us, is we focus on those factors and skills. Because we've been talking about drift. You can drift in any season or stage, if you stop being intentional.
Right.
And sometimes what was working in the last season or stage, it needs to change in this season or stage.
Mm-hmm.
Quality time, words of high value, intimacy, praising each other in public, complimenting one another, just the little things that we can let slip and fall into drift with. So you ask what is the best season or the peak. I don't think we're anywhere near the summit, and that's kind of what I'm hoping couples get.
Wow.
That we just keep moving toward it.
Yeah.
Till either the Lord returns or calls one of us home.
Yeah.
Wow. So in the 25 years that Ted and Amy have been married, they have obviously navigated different things. And what I thought was really cool about what he said was, when they had young kids, they were like, we just kind of need to press through this and we'll be happy when a future date.
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced that with us too?
Oh, yeah. I remember when Haven was young, feeling like we don't have time for each other. We don't have capacity or like the mental, emotional capacity for each other. We're drained at the end of the day. So let's just get through this and we'll be happy when she's older.
When? That never comes. I have always wanted to be happy. I've always wanted to have a great relationship. And in my mind, I was thinking, I'm not that way now. Maybe when I get to this stage, maybe when I get to this season, that's when the happiness is going to be there.
Yeah, it's an illusion of something you never actually get to, and it's really easy to fall into that trap of, when we blank, I'll be happy. And we do have another video about that, so be sure and check out where happiness actually comes from.
That's great.
But let's talk about where he's talking about drift.
That's a big one.
Maybe you are in the same season of life that Ted is referring to. You're about to be empty nesters, and this is a whole new thing that you're going through. Or maybe you are newlyweds. Everybody has seasons that they go through in marriage, and we're constantly evolving and changing through the process. So he brings up drift, that if couples are not being intentional, drift automatically happens. intentional meaning I have intentional quality time with you, and I'm intentionally speaking your love language and dating you and pursuing your heart.
I think that humans are kind of like water. We will flow with the path of least resistance.
So true.
And sometimes it's easier for me to not do things than to do things. And sometimes it's easier for me to kind of like go with the flow or sit on the couch and watch TV or get on my phone and numb to maybe social media or something like that, than to be fully engaged in my life that's actually happening.
Yeah, and I was going to say drift is small.
It is.
It's small. You don't even notice that it's happening until you are miles apart and you're growing actually apart. And you mentioned phones. I remember we used to eat dinner and then watch TV, and then we would move to the bed and be on our phones side by side, but we're not talking,
No.
we're not spending quality time together. We thought we were. We're engaged on our phones, and something like that, it like put a huge distance between us. But it seemed harmless at the time.
It did. Yeah.
But what's important about that is neither one of us were being intentional in the relationship. We were both like being passive, backseat, cruisers, and or whatever happens, and we'll go with it. It wasn't like, let's take the bull by the horns and let's steer this marriage where we want it to go.
Yeah, you have a say-so. You have a say-so in what you do and what you don't do. And I've heard this statement, if the devil can't make you sin, he will make you busy.
Right.
Or he'll make you preoccupied with stuff. And I feel like that's the way it would happen with me in life, is I would get busy or preoccupied with other things and not be engaged with what I'm committed to.
Right.
And I have seen drift not only in my spiritual life with God, I've seen it in all the areas that are really important to me. And those areas are God, you, and family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the drift occurs in my life, and sometimes in work.
Mm-hmm.
But the main three are those three. And I will not see the drift happening. It'll be
Right.
more like small incremental things, like you were saying, Adele, that disconnects me or moves me further away.
Right. And I think that is where it opens up for someone else to pursue our hearts.
It would. Mm-hmm.
Because it's natural for when you're pursuing me, I'm leaning in,
Right.
But when I'm not being pursued, and then let's just say some nice gentleman gives me this compliment. Oh, that's nice. I'm not getting that at home. And it's just it's a trap.
Great point.
Yeah. So let's share about what we do to avoid drift. So one of the things that we started doing was, after Haven goes to bed, her bedtime is 8:00. That's our time to spend together. And it's sometimes we watch TV. It's rare, but sometimes we do. Most of the time we sit on our patio and we just have good conversation and hang out. We might play a game together or read a book together or something along those lines. But that is one way that we are really intentional about pursuing each other.
Yeah, there's several different ways. And if we are going to watch a movie, we agree on that's what we're going to do. And then we're intentional when we do it. We sit beside each other. We talk about what we're watching sometimes, but we're very intentional and we agree that's what we're going to do. Another is, I like you brought up our date night from 8 to 10. It's just such a special time. It's not that we're going out and spending money.
Yeah.
It's just time where we're intentional with each other and having great conversation. We're going through some different specific things like work talk and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love how I have shifted in my thought process, because it used to be, I felt like you needed to be taking me on a date night.
Yeah.
Somewhere, eating or whatever. And when I really realized that we can do that in our home and not go anywhere, and it's more fun and we're more relaxed and we're in our environment, it's way better than going out to eat or whatever. And so I don't need him to take me out on date nights. Our date night is every night. And yeah.
I used to need to do that though, because I needed to take you out for a special date night once a month or something like that, because I was not intentional with the rest of the month.
Exactly.
Right? And so I needed to take you someplace nice, spend some money, let you know your importance to me and all that, because I was not intentional for the rest of the month. And so you got that once a month, that time for us to do that. But what's different in our relationship is she's important all the time. We're having date night all the time. There's no need to spend the money. You know you are valued through our conversation and how we speak to each other.
Yeah, that's really great. So that's what works for us as a couple. And then you need to figure out what works for you as a couple, because that may not work for you. But finding some way for both of you to be intentional and pursue each other's heart will definitely set your marriage up for success. Thanks for joining us today, and be sure and tune in tomorrow for part 4 of Ted Cunningham. Bye. Hey, you're not finished yet.
We're here to make a difference and inspire your marriage and other marriages as well. And if you found value in these videos, leave us a comment and let us know what that was so we can make other videos similar to that.
We would love for you to join our community of awesome, like-minded people.
They are awesome.
Go ahead and hit subscribe, and you'll get daily motivational videos that impact your life and inspire you to be your best self. This also helps us get our message out to marriages all over the world. So thank you so much for subscribing and joining our community.